Hi, welcome back to my house. My name is Mary Biesinger, and we're going to do a little chat with Mary today. I'm going to pretend like I'm looking at all my cool friends back home in Utah and other places that I've met. And hope you guys are having an awesome day today. Lately I've just been thinking about a question that someone asked and is asked in the past. What does it mean to have your children come prepared to teach in a class, and why even do that? Another question that's closely associated with that, Mike, can you take Eli, please? Closely associated with that is, when should you mix the older and younger ages in a learning environment? And why should you mix the younger and older ages in a learning environment? I like to have the children participate in whatever class they feel like they're ready for, whether they're older or younger, and just tell them, well, if you're ready for it and if you're prepared, if there's a requirement for the class, and the only other requirement is that they be respectful and not distracting to the class and contribute. So I think that it's important to do that. One reason why is illustrated by a conversation that I had with my son Kel a few weeks ago. We were talking about basketball. Now, we've been playing basketball as a family for about 4 months or 5 months, and we'll go once or twice a week, sometimes 3 times, so we actually get our acts together to do it. 3 times a week we'll go to the Y, and we will exercise, just running back and forth up and down the court. We'll start with a game of tornado, lightning, whatever you want to call it, and then we will play basketball. And at the beginning we had we still do have a big range of abilities, and so we'll have one team. Each team will divide up fairly evenly, so people have similar abilities on each team that they're competing against. So we'll have Piper on the same team as Kel. And it's been interesting. At first I kind of worried about this because I thought, my older kids they need to be in competition, I think, in a certain degree, in a certain environment, to kind of push themselves and feel like they need to be stronger or faster. And I wanted that environment for them. I felt like they needed it, and also the ability to exercise. I think that's important. And to work together as a team. There are so many things that we can learn from team sports. And so we would take them every week. And the little ones wanted to play, and I have a really hard time saying no when someone really wants to play, if it's not something that we can't make a way for them to be a part of it. And so we would play basketball, and Piper would be in there, and she would double, dribble, travel, spin around, and Quinn would, I still can imagine my husband Quinn saying, "Great spin move, Piper," and she'd pick it up and kind of run around the person, and then she'd go and she'd shoot. And at first, when she shot, she could barely get halfway up to the basket. But now, 4 months later, she can shoot it normally and make baskets. And from 2-3 feet away, but still, she can shoot, and she's a tiny little girl. She's 9 years old, and a really petite little thing. So that's just one example of the people in the family who've improved. My son Drew, who's 14, is making a lot more consistent shots. His layups look fantastic, and this has all happened in an environment where the older and younger ones are working together. And I said something to Kel the other day, bringing this conversation full circle. I said something to Kel the other day about, why is that? It doesn't make sense to me, because you always hear how people need to be of similar abilities and capabilities so the whole group can go faster and better. And there probably are instances where you need that, depending on what your objective and your goal is. But I told him, I said, it's been amazing how I've seen each of your skill sets improve over these 4 months as we've been exercising. And I wonder why that is. And Kel said, well, maybe it's because when you're reaching out and reaching down to help those who are less skilled than you are, you're reminding yourself of the skills that you yourself need to improve on, the skills you yourself needed to do, and thereby you strengthen your own skills. I thought that was really profound. I'm not sure, how much more we gained from that experience, but I knew that was a true thing that happened, that as we worked together and supported each other, despite our range of abilities and skills, we all improved as a group. Just to make sure this is still recording. Okay, it's still recording. I just hate talking to nothing and not have it do anything. So I apply that in my home a lot, and then also in Vanguard, the group that we do as a youth group, and we have what's called the core class. And in that core class, we want everyone involved in that core class, and we talk about the principle, and we talk about some basic examples and have some basic simulations for everybody to be involved in, whether they're apprentice, journeyman, or master levels. We're all participating at that level. Many reasons for that. First reason, it felt right. It felt right to have them all together. Maya, stop, please, don't fight. Too often we get in this elitist idea and culture that I'm above them or beyond them, and we forget how much we can learn from each other, no matter what age they're at, or no matter what skill set they're at. So I think it's important to remember and to have at least that one environment in the core class where they all come together and do that. I have classes like that in my home. We do that for our devotionals. Everybody comes to that. And we try to give everyone respectful attention. Even my 5-year-old, as she makes comments. And I've learned deep truths from her and from my poetic 9-year-old, Piper. And she shares things. Hey, don't yell, please, Kay. So I think that there's power in having that mix of ranges there as we become mentors and teachers to each other. And as younger ones feel that their words have weight and they are inspired by those that are around them. And it teaches humility to those who feel like they know everything as they realize that they can also be taught by people of different ages. So I guess the subject of this little chat with Mary today is the value of mixing ages together and to not undervalue the benefits that can be derived from that. You see a tenderness that extends, a compassion and a sympathy that is developed. And I've always felt that. But I thought that Kel's insight was really astute when he said, I think it's because we also review those skills as we reteach someone how to do it, then it's strengthened in our own. So that's just something to think about as you're doing it, as you're coaching or mentoring different age levels. You might think, what environment can I bring other kids in, or if they're really begging, how can I make this a positive learning experience for all of them? Sometimes you just say, hey, if you can't sit still, you can't be here. I've done that, and that's totally appropriate. To say, oh, you're not being respectful, so you'll need to go. And you'll be able to come to the next time. So you can demonstrate that you can either sit quietly or listen respectfully. So anyway, some awesome things. There was one other thing I thought I had with it. But my son's distracting me here, and so I can't remember what it was. Along with that is the value of coming prepared to teach. Okay, say hi, and then go find Tova. It's coming prepared to teach. In Vanguard, they come prepared to teach. Now, when we started with that idea, it was foreign. Normally, in school, the teacher teaches something, and then they go home and they review the schoolwork, and they come back the next week and turn in their assignments. And I thought, this takes too long. I only have 1 week that I can cover these things with them. So how could I make it a productive experience? And I thought, what if they studied things on their own beforehand, and then they came and did that? And at first, I just said, study